What is up guys, I'm Julien, the French winemaking guy who makes wine videos here on YouTube. Yes, wine videos. So welcome back to another wine video. Welcome to your wine pronunciation video. Today we are going to be looking at how to pronounce the name of the 10 villages that are particularly remarkable and notable in the region of Beaujolais, making obviously some of the most famous, enjoyable, fruity, upfront fruity red wines in France. In Beaujolais you have to know that there are 38 villages that are allowed to use the appellation Beaujolais-Villages. So those are notable villages but not notable enough, not remarkable enough. The terroir, the soil is not good enough to be classified and have their own appellation. So those villages are not allowed to put the name of their village on the label, but they can use the slightly superior Beaujolais-Villages, slightly superior to the standard Beaujolais appellation. You will obviously see coming out of Beaujolais the appellation and the wines coming as Beaujolais Nouveau. Those are very fruity wines that come out very early after harvest. So some of the first wines coming out of the northern hemisphere for a particular vintage. There are 10 villages that are allowed to put their own name on their wine labels. Those can be a little bit confusing. There are 10 villages that are called the Beaujolais Crus, remarkable villages that have such a specific terroir that they yield enjoyable, remarkable wines, generally a bit deeper, a bit more tannic, a bit more age-worthy as well. So we are going to go through those 10 different villages and how to pronounce those names that may look a little bit daunting if you're not a natural French speaker. So first off is one of the most confusing ones. This is Chiroubles. Chiroubles. So simply say Chi for this part here, Chi, and then roobl. Roobl. The S at the end here is silent, like most of the time in French the last letter is silent. So roobl. Not so much roobl, but rather roobl. So not really chiroubles or neither chiroubles, but rather Chiroubles. Chiroubles. If you are able to pronounce the French R, say Chiroubles. Typical French way, Chiroubles. Second is one of the most famous. Brouilly is actually a mountain with a very granitic soil, particular terroir. Some of the best wines come around the Mount Brouilly in Beaujolais. This is pronounced Brouilly. Fairly straightforward, Brouilly. If you can pronounce it the real French way with the typical French R, Brouilly. Then comes Fleurie. 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 Pretty straightforward, right? Fleurie. If you can pronounce it the real French way, Fleurie. Fleurie. Then comes one that I particularly appreciate, being called Julien. Myself, my first name is Julien, well, Juliénas. Juliénas. Note that the S at the end is generally not pronounced, not sounded, it's silent. Juliénas. Juliénas. Then comes another famous and delicious one, Morgon More, just like you'd say more and gon. Pretty straightforward, Morgon. Typical French way, Morgon. I would like some Morgon, s'il vous plaît. Chénas. Chénas. Another silent S here, Chénas. Not so much Chénas, not so much Chénas, but rather Chénas, if you can pronounce it that way. Chénas. Chénas. Puis-je avoir un petit peu de vin de Chénas? Vin de Chénas. Chénas wine. Saint-Amour, one that is particularly appreciated around Saint Valentine, Valentine's Day, because amour is French for love. This translates into saint, love, essentially. So you will see quite a few wine labels with love hearts, and they sell really well for Valentine's Day or any romantic dinner, really. How do you pronounce this? Saint-Amour. Essentially you make what we call a liaison, so liaising the T here with the A. So the T itself is silent, but because it's followed by an A, you'd have to say ta. So Saint-Amour, 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 Saint-Amour. Typical French way, Saint-Amour. possibly one of the very best crus in the whole of Beaujolais, yielding some of the most appreciated, some of the most reputable wines coming out of Beaujolais, often age-worthy wines. Some of those can be aged in barrels, and really some fantastic wines coming out of Moulin-à-Vent. If you see this on a wine label, ask your wine merchant whether it's really a good one, and I'll suggest you give it a try because they are very, very specific. But how do you pronounce this thing? Well, moulin-à-vent. 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 If you want to pronounce it the English way, that would kind of be moulin-à-vent. Moulin-à-vent. Typical French way, moulin-à-vent. Régnié. 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 Not so much Régnié if you can pronounce Régnié. 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 Typical French way, Régnié. Finally, one that is related to the Brouilly mount that I was talking about earlier. So vineyards that are going to be on slightly steeper slopes around the Mount Brouilly. The Côte, Côte being French for slope, Côte de Brouilly. Côte de Brouilly. Côte de Brouilly. Côte de Brouilly. Typical French way, Côte de Brouilly. Most wines out of Beaujolais come out red, made from a famous by now grape variety that is called Gamay, that you will find planted elsewhere, but that originates from the heart of Beaujolais, the heart of France, that is called Gamay. Fairly straightforward to pronounce, Gamay. Julien Michael signing off for today. I hope you enjoyed today's videos. Feel free to have a look around my YouTube channel where I'll make wine tasting videos, wine review videos, everything wine, wine travel videos, everything wine you will find around on this channel. Feel free to subscribe. I will see you soon in the wonderful world of wine. Santé, as we say in French. Make sure to have a look around and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. And I will see you soon, very soon, in the wonderful world of wine. Cheers.
You told me I'm your anchor. I told you you're my pole. Through the wind and fire we try to hold on. We built this ship together, searching for a home. Despite the storm that hit us, we're still on board.